I would like to share with you my ideas on Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is a path of knowledge or self-inquiry. It is a vast subject, but the way I approach it, I can present to you in 4 basic points. Number 1, we all instinctively seek happiness, freedom, wisdom, and immortality. Number 2, we do not create any desire, thought, or urge. Number 3, we do whatever we do out of a necessity, not because of any so-called free will. And number 4, the cosmic process never leaves us alone until we reach perfection. Now, let me elaborate these points one by one. Number 1, we all instinctively seek happiness, freedom, wisdom, love, immortality. There is not really much elaboration required for this point. If you look into your life, if you try to remember all the events of your life, you will find that one way or the other you have been always seeking happiness, freedom, love, light, joy, laughter. You never intended to be miserable, to be confused, to be insecure, to be jealous, to be fearful. The life process is like that, that we all are geared instinctively, naturally to seek the divine essence. Those of us who end up hurting themselves because of certain actions, initially they also aspire to be happy, to be comfortable, to be joyful, but in spite of their good intention, somehow they ended up being confused and miserable. But then they learned from that confusion and misery and insecurity, and they are led to change the course of their action. That is how they grow, or we all grow. Second point is, we never create any thought, desire, or urge. These thoughts, desires, and urges surface on their own in our consciousness. It is because of our illusion and ignorance that we imagine we are creating them, we are responsible for them. We all have different load of tendencies. These tendencies make us different, unique individuals. And it is because of these tendencies, these thoughts, desires, and urges surface in our consciousness. We have no control whatsoever on these thoughts, desires, and urges. When sometimes we act on these thoughts, desires, and urges and we get hurt, then in the flow of life, that experience of hurt and pain creates its own impression in our psyche, and then later on we are inspired to change our actions, or naturally these thoughts, desires, and urges change, and make us act differently. Now let me move on to the third point, and that is very, very crucial. We do whatever we do out of a necessity, not because of any so-called free will. I know most of you will disagree with me, but I have to share what I have discovered in my own life. It is because of this illusion of free will most of us are trapped in our judgments, in our guilt, in our pride, and in all the trappings of the ego. The day someone realizes that he or she never did anything and can never ever do anything, there is no more ego. The ego is dissolved once and forever. It is because of this ego, it is because of this illusion of doership. And that means you believe you have done something and you can do something. You have a sense of heaviness about yourself. The day you realize life has been working for you 24 hours a day, and it will continue to work for you 24 hours a day. You are just there for a ride. Dear friends, life is all celebration. Life is all playfulness. Life is all laughter. But don't misunderstand me. That does not mean there will be no more any kind of pain, any kind of fear, any kind of jealousy, any kind of confusion. All these feelings will still surface in your consciousness, but you will have totally a different attitude towards them. You will not hold yourself responsible for all these feelings. You will know they come in your life like day and night. Let me remind you some of the basic facts of your life. You are here. What did you do to be here in this planet in the first place? What did you do to be born? What did you do to be a human being? What did you do to be a man or a woman? What did you do to be short or tall? See how life has been unfolding for you through you, and it will continue to unfold for you through you. The confusion in your life comes when you are faced with contradictory desires. Like, for example, after eating 2 slices of pizza, you are still inclined to eat the third one, and you become aware of yourself as if you are becoming compulsive and you are overeating. In such occasions, if for some reason the tendency to overeat pizza is stronger than the tendency not to overeat and to maintain good health, then you will end up overeating pizza. But friends, when you overeat pizza, it is going to affect your body and mind. And when your body is sluggish, your mind is slothful, automatically these experiences make an impression. And later on, when such occasion, such situation again arises, you will be more mindful, you will be more alert, and you will learn your lesson from the experience of this pain, this sluggishness and slothfulness. That is how we learn and grow in life. All the mystics of the world, to my understanding, have unanimously declared that they were simply the instruments, the channels, a higher force, a higher power was working through them. And my dear friends, the truth is still the same for you and me. Only because of our illusion of free will and doership, we tend to believe as if we have done something and we have to do something. The greatest challenge of life lies in realizing that we do nothing and we can do nothing. Life just moves on and on and on. I am reminded of beautiful words of Jesus. Don't worry about the food. Behold the lilies of the field. They do not toil or spin, yet they are beautifully arrayed, more beautifully arrayed than Solomon in all his glory. I am reminded of Lord Krishna's beautiful verse also. He shared, all actions are performed through the attributes of nature, yet the person who is deluded with his or her ego thinks that he or she is the doer. In the beginning, my friends, it seems very natural to think and believe and feel as if we are the doers, but this experience of doership is like what you experience in the dream. In the dream, the dreaming self thinks and believes and feels as if he or she is running, swimming, climbing, fighting, loving, succeeding and failing. But when the dream is over, you come to realize that the dreaming self, with all its activities, was doing absolutely nothing. It was the dream script, unfolding the way it was unfolding, and the dreaming self was caught to play that role, whatever role the dreaming self was playing in the dream. Just like that, my friends, you do nothing to age, you do nothing to feel hungry, you do nothing to feel sleepy, and when you have already fallen asleep, you do nothing to become awake. You do nothing to dream, and you do nothing to break your dream. Life just automatically leads you through all these experiences. One has to realize the illusion of the freedom of will, to realize the joy of being, the freedom of being, the juice of being. And the fourth point is the cosmic process never leaves us alone until we reach perfection. Perfection, from the perspective of Jnana Yoga, does not mean perfection in human qualities and moral values. Perfection means realization of wholeness, oneness, the realization of unity consciousness, the realization of divine essence which transcends all judgments, fears and hang-ups. No matter what one achieves in the realm of status, power, wealth, health, relationship, something keeps us nudging all the time. And that nudging is leading us, pushing us towards that perfection, which is our inherent divine nature. Sooner or later, we all are destined to discover that divine nature.